Hey y'all, Moses here. In today's video, I'm making my very first Apex Legends guide. Now, before we get started, there's something I want to say. Apex Legends came out of nowhere. There's no way for anybody at this stage to know everything about the balance of the game, all the different tips, different tricks. It's so new that all we have right now is just the basics of the first couple of days of gameplay. Now, obviously, there's people out there spending tons of hours. There's high-level streamers playing. But I think that I want to kind of get the baseline as a player who's obviously new to Apex, but has a lot of experience in the Battle Royale genre. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the topic of this video is choosing your kit and choosing weapons from a basic strategy standpoint to win more gunfights and win more games in Apex. I've already racked up about 25 wins in the game, but again, I am by no means a total expert. So let's just talk about my approach to strategy in the game. Now, Apex is a game of speed and movement, similar to other Battle Royale games on the market. So my first idea of what it takes to win a gunfight effectively is closing the distance, having two good options for both mid-range and short-range engagements. Long-range engagements in Apex are a little bit of a bad idea in my opinion. They take too long to finish a fight. You typically won't be able to capitalize on opportunities if you're very far away from an enemy, and you also leave yourself open to a lot of third-party opportunities because people run towards gunfire knowing that they have an advantage over someone who's distracted by another squad. So in my opinion, the best way to win gunfights is to close distance, get up on top of your enemy as a team, and pick them apart slowly. Not to mention recognizing the strengths and weaknesses of the matchups in your characters, but we'll save that for another more in-depth guide. So for now, I'm going to focus on the two main keys when it comes to choosing your weapon. The first is, can you open up an opportunity in the mid-range? So that's going to mean choosing a effective mid-range option, something that does high damage and is a precision choice for hitting those headshots. My go-to choice right now for that is the Wingman Pistol or the G7 Scout. Both are really excellent choices. The Wingman has some attachments that gives you bonus headshot damage and can effectively become like the Deagle in Counter-Strike or any other skill shot weapon. McCree mains might feel at home here as well with this pistol. And the G7 is just a reliable, when fully kitted, if you put even an ACOG on that thing, to make you very effective in precise shooting in mid-range. And doing good damage in the mid-range engagement before you get up on top of an enemy is a good way to just soften them up so they're being forced to med, retreat, scatter, use their abilities to either defensively block you. Essentially, you're just trying to weaken your enemy before you get up close to move to your primary weapon, whatever that might be. For a primary weapon choice, my general idea as to what makes a good up-close weapon is control and high damage output. There's a couple of different misconceptions already I've seen, which is like the Devotion. That is not a good primary weapon because it has a spin-up speed. Unless you have the turbocharger, it has a high ammo count, it takes energy ammo. But for the most part, I've been relying on the R301 and the R99 light assault rifle and light SMG. The difference between the R301 and the R99 is kind of subtle, but I think important. The R301 is good for, again, mid-range engagements. You can blink away with it. You can even spray with it if you have that great kit on it. It kind of lives and dies by its attachments, especially the magazine for the light ammo. 18 is a very small amount, so if you have no extended mag whatsoever, the R301 isn't great, and the R99 isn't great either. So the R301 has a significantly worse hip fire accuracy than the R99. The R99, however, gets through bullets so quickly that you might not be able to space and control your recoil and bursts to effectively do on-target damage, which is so important up close. If you miss a spray up close, you could very easily lose a gunfight. So really practice with either of these two guns. The Flatline and the Hemlock are okay. I'm not going to say they're bad choices because I haven't had a lot of time to spend with those specific weapons. I look more for synergy. If you want ammo synergy with your assault rifle and your secondary, you can put the Hemlock in single fire mode, believe it or not, which is a great way to do damage in the mid-range as well. It acts a lot more consistently than the burst version, in my opinion. But the Flatline, again, has kind of wonky recoil horizontally, which can be difficult to control. So I've been using the light SMG and the light assault rifle for my up-close choice. You can also go to the Peacekeeper. I mean, the Peacekeeper shotgun does a lot of damage, but that is a very, very skill-heavy weapon. If you miss shots up close with the Peacekeeper, you will be punished. So again, just looking at the strategy aspect, The R99 has a very high damage output, but has a lower magazine. You'll get through ammo quickly. It also has a faster reload, which is something to consider as well in this case. There's a lot to talk about and a lot more theory crafting to go into this specific topic, but I just want to say those two choices are very consistent, and I would suggest trying them out if you haven't yet. A quick note on the sniper rifles. I think that the Longbow is low-key one of the not worst weapons in the game, but is very hard to stay consistent with considering the speed of characters and the fact that it has a hard limit on how fast you can shoot it. The Longbow does really good damage, but because of that, again, hard limit on how fast you can shoot it, you can't really follow up shots, and sometimes unless you're hitting really precise headshots on a nearly stationary target, which is really unlikely in a decent level opponent, the Longbow can kind of suffer. That's why I think the Scout's a better choice. Obviously the Craver is also a very powerful weapon, but relies very, very heavily on your ability to hit targets on the move, in the air, sliding, and at a distance that has, you know, a lot of issues considering how hard it can be to close the gap. The Craver acts as a good surprise weapon if you want to be like, hey, surprise, I've got the yellow sniper, and you take somebody down. But on the reverse end, I think the Mastiff is an absolute destroyer. So if you can get your hands on the yellow shotgun, you'll be feeling pretty good. So I don't want to get too long with this particular video, so I want to open it up to you guys. I'm really interested to know, what have you guys been using? And this is important because I want to know, to collect data to test myself, what is your favorite go-to weapon combination in Apex so far? Leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to this channel if you're interested in more Apex content. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/wtfmoses, where I'll be testing all this stuff. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/wtfmoses. I'm super excited for Apex. I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well. Share this video and just give me any feedback, because I really want to start making some high quality content for Apex. It's been real, guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, I'll see you out there.